Hey everybody, welcome back to Eat and Talk. We are starting a new season and I am so excited. We are getting ready to rumble and we're kicking it off with the amazing Adrian Wilson. I am disappointed in Minnesota for you not like being on more podcasts, and I'm sad that we didn't get to meet earlier. But you guys, when I met him because through a friend, and he had made a film, and it was an amazing film. And we'll get into that a little bit more because this man has an amazing resume. But I'm gonna just tell y'all right now, he's very talented, very gifted, and we're gonna talk shit. But before we even get into that, he has never had sambusas. And you know we're Eat and Talk. And this season we're trying to integrate more food. So we're going to witness him take his first bite into a sambusa from my favorite place.
I'm excited.
Yeah, from my favorite place. Jump into it right now. And while you're jumping into it, I'm going to talk about where the sambusa is from. You know, I said 2024, I'm not doing no free promo, but you guys, Cairo Grill, Daily Cairo Grill on Chicago and Franklin and South Minneapolis is the best. Y'all heard that? He said, the best sambusas hands down in Minnesota. So please go and check them out. Go ahead.
You can keep talking about it though.
You know, like I said, how do you like it? Don't worry. This is Eat and Talk, so it can get messy. It's fine.
Oh my God.
Yeah? Yeah, I can't believe, like, if you live in Minnesota, I don't care what culture you're from, and you haven't had a sambusa.
I need to get out the house more.
Hit me up. Yeah, for real. Hit me up. Send me a DM, whatever it is, and I will make sure that you get a sambusa. It is really good. It is really good. This is beef. We also do like tunas, all of that. I'm gonna let him finish his last bites, and then we're gonna get the momentum going. But I am really excited to have Adrian here today, and you're gonna take the rest home. So I knew he was gonna love it. Right, you better hide that. Adrian,
Mine's so spicy too.
I know. And and you like, you're cultured. So where are you originally from? Go ahead. Yeah, I'm gonna let you drink the water.
Wow. First of all, thank you for this.
Of course.
I love learning new cultures and new food because, like, I really sorry.
No, go ahead. It's okay.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
Go get it, y'all. Where was my camera? Right here?
Yeah.
Go get that. And
Yeah.
I can imagine just put that sucker in the microwave.
So good. It's so good.
I love like learning new culture because I love cooking. So I would see stuff on TikTok or just see new things and be like, oh, I want to try that. And if I just love it, that's now in my routine. So
yeah.
What was your question? I'm ready.
So I mean, I was welcoming you here, and we're just gonna jump into it. Adrian, tell my viewers, you know, well, I was gonna say actually originally, where are you from?
Okay. Originally, I'm from Guyana,
Okay.
South America, the only English-speaking country in South America.
Shout out to Guyana.
It's like the size of Florida. And I remember when I moved to America, I compared them on the map. And I was born and raised there. I moved to Orlando, Florida when I was 16. It was 2005. And then my American life, you can call me Floridian, I guess.
Yeah.
But don't tell too many people that
Yeah,
out loud.
we look at Floridians a little
I know.
side eye.
I don't want to get bougie, but I moved, and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
I really live there. So yeah, Guyana, that's where I'm from, South
Wow,
America.
that's amazing. And then when did you come to Minnesota?
I moved to Minnesota in 2013 or 14, I think it was. So when I moved from Guyana to Orlando, I went back into high school because I was too young. So moving here, I was 15, and you know, America is just this greatest country in the world. They put me back into high school because I was that age. And that was my first experience in this country, and I hated every single thing about it.
Yeah.
Because imagine going back into the 11th grade after you already graduated.
Yeah.
And, you know, I went into school and, you know, did the whole thing from 11th to 12th grade. 11th grade, I was in a public school, but I got into a lot of fights because I was a little Caribbean kid with a strong accent, short. It's like 5'5", like 90 pounds, with wet clothes on if possible.
Yeah.
And I got bullied a lot, so I got into a lot of fights. So me and my mom had to talk, and she's like, I'm like, if you want me to graduate, you got to get me out of this school. So we ended up in a charter school like 6 kids a class
Yeah.
and graduated high school. Didn't know what to do. I wanted to be like a doctor and a lawyer because my idea of success in America was like doctor, lawyer, astronaut. That's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's the typical
that's what you
like
see.
immigrant, expectations.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like you need to come to this country with me and you're going to be a doctor and you're going to blah, blah, blah. That's what our parents do. So when I realized that that's not going to be happening, I just went to school for computer science. And
Yeah.
I figured this is the early, mid 2000s ish, and this is a good time to learn about computers. And the internet was popping off. Facebook is here, and I'm like, this is someplace that I need to be. And
Yeah.
graduated and didn't work out.
Yeah.
I ended up working in Circuit City for a little bit, then worked at Best Buy for a little bit, then ended up selling cars for a little bit. This is during the recession too, by the way. This is
Wow.
2010, right at the end of a recession.
He was doing it all.
That's when I had no choice. I had to make money.
Yeah.
So I ended up start DJing and DJ some house parties in Orlando.
Okay.
Yes, a lot of people don't know that.
Wow. That's impressive. Okay.
I DJ just for two of my buddies, and we started in like house parties, and we moved into hotel parties, then we moved into like the clubs.
Yeah.
And we DJed there for a little. I moved to Miami and did.
What was your DJ name? I need to know. I need to know. I'm sorry.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna let out the truth here. Okay.
Okay.
My first DJ name was DJ Loverboy.
DJ Lover. So you was playing them Loverboy music, huh? Is
I
that
just thought I was in my Usher phase.
Oh,
hard,
okay.
Okay.
That was a
Confessions
good.
album,
That was a good
I
era.
was in my Usher phase so hard and my R&B phase so hard.
I love that.
I can't believe I just said that out loud.
No, I love that.
But hey, trial and error, okay? And DJ Loverboy lasted about a week.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a terrible, terrible, terrible name.
Okay.
And then I think I was on a bus going home, and I'm like, man, I got to think of a different name than DJ Loverboy. This just does not sound. My name is DJ Loverboy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get clowned on.
Yeah.
So I always wanted to do something that can represent. Like, what is my name gonna represent? And I came up with DJ West, WEST. W for Wilson is my last name. Elizabeth's my mom.
Okay.
Trevor's T. That's my cousin that actually taught me how to DJ back. I saw him doing it first when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And when I had the opportunity, I jumped on it. And Sean was another cousin of mine as well too. So that's where the West came. And plus, I was a big Kanye West fan, so I couldn't.
I was gonna say, was there? I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the Kanye West. I was like, okay, it needs to be correlated in there.
I couldn't just go with West only. I'm like, all right, we gotta, people are gonna think I'm jockeying. I'm already in my Usher phase. I can't be in my Kanye phase. Too, so. Yeah, that's where that DJ name came from. So DJ West is who I was.
Okay, so then what did you start doing after DJing?
I started filming videos inside of the clubs.
Okay.
That's how I got into film. That's how I picked up the first camera.
Yeah.
I was DJing and my buddy had like a Canon Mark II 5D and it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. And he was filming videos, or he's taking photos with it, and I just grabbed it one day and just filmed the video. And I went home and I didn't know what to do with it. So I went on Google and I'm like, how to edit videos. And YouTube is the best college on earth.
Yeah, I agree.
I found out because I went to school for computer science. I was very well versatile with cracking software. So Adobe Suite was easy for me to find the key, and I got it for free because back then Adobe was like $700.
Yeah,
ain't no way I'm paying for that. So I cracked Adobe. I'm gonna say it out loud. Whatever.
Go ahead.
Adobe made a lot of money off of me over the past year, so I did crack your software because it was too freaking expensive.
Wow, you were gifted.
I had no. I can adjust to my environment.
Yeah, that's dope.
I cracked it and I taught myself how to edit videos that day, and I downloaded like Windows Movie Maker, I think it was. I had a Toshiba, and I fell in love. And then I sent the video to the club owner, and the next day I saw my video playing on all the screens, and immediately I'm like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Because when I first moved to this country, my dad told me like, all you have is your name, and nobody can take that from you. Everything else they can. And DJ West was never known. Like, people will come to the clubs and they'll be like, this club is awesome. And then they leave. I'm like,
How about me?
But I'm the one that DJ this stuff.
Right.
Like, I need you to, I'm like, this
Yeah.
ain't it. But then when I see my videos up there, then the gears start turning, and I start borrowing his camera literally every day.
Did you know you were like, I mean, I know you went to school for computer science, but did you know that you were like good at filming before you picked up that first camera?
No, I know that I have a great imagination.
Okay.
Right? Because like even as a kid, I would, and I see this in my son a lot too. Like he's a freaking copy of me. And I just see him talking to himself and just like creating stuff. And I'm like, man, I used to do that. And I remember I would make songs or I would create a whole thing, elaborate story in my head. And when I picked up that camera, I'm like, oh, this is a way that I can take it from here and push this thing out. Yeah. So like I started filming videos in Orlando, and I think music was one of the things that's to this day still inspires like my creativity, because if I hear a song, I would think like, oh, this would be cool if this happened. Yeah. And I'm a big J. Cole fan. And I heard the first album, and Lost Ones was one of my favorite songs with the girl getting pregnant.
Me
and I'm
too.
Like, right?
Yeah.
And the storytelling of J. Cole is just different. And I'm like, man, if I was a director, I would do this with this this music video. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna. Can I curse here?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Woo, fucking breathe.
Yes, you can.
I'm
you
trying.
can. Yeah, no, we're as authentic as
Let's
it gets.
go.
So yes,
Perfect.
be yourself. It's okay.
So I just picked up the camera and I wrote the script, and I hit my homeboy and my homegirl up. I'm like, hey, what y'all doing Sunday? I wrote something. You want to film it or be in it? And we filmed like my little concept video for Lost Ones of this girl. She got pregnant. Then I love like trying to pull emotion from people. Yeah. So I'm like, this has to end like so people can remember it. So the ending of it was the guy, you know, typical. She's like, "That's not my baby," and she's crying to her friend, and then she went in the bedroom and she took a razor blade and
cut.
And then it faded to black.
Wow.
So we didn't say she did it.
Yeah.
But I thought of that because like, all right, if anything that people are going to remember, how can I tap into someone's emotion? So I did that. Put it on YouTube. The thing had like 20,000 views. Yeah. And I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. This is it. To hell with DJ West. To hell with DJ Loverboy.
Hey, shout out to DJ Loverboy though. Okay.
That kid is an ambitious little young dude. Man. Shout out to you, DJ Loverboy. My
For
God.
Real.
So yeah, that's what it started, and I just began like, all right, let me start creating more concepts, and I'm hearing more songs, and I did like every single 2 weeks, I'm banging them out in Orlando, and this is when World Star was like a thing.
Oh,
World Star
I remember
Hip-Hop.
that. World Star Hip Hop. Those were the days.
So my goal was I need to get a video on World Star and it's going to pop off. And that video that I did was on World Star too. Wow. And that was like the biggest thing in my entire life.
I need to find it now. You got it somewhere?
It's called J. Cole Lost Ones, directed by Adrian Wilson. When I watch it now, I'm about to watch it.
I mean, you've come a long way, but still.
But that's to this day, that showed me like my creativity, people like.
Yeah.
As crazy as that idea was, people gravitated towards it. So it gave me like more motivation to continue trusting myself and trusting my art and doing something extremely outlandish. And people be like, yo, that's cool. That's pretty cool. I'm like, word? All right, well, how far, where else can I do? So yeah, I'm rambling. Go
That's beautiful. No, I was going to say keep going. So I want to know now how you ended up here, transition from Orlando, the music scene, the video scene. Right. How'd you end up here?
All right, let's get the cat out the bag.
Yeah, okay.
Cat Williams. The dads are gonna get that joke. So when I moved to Miami, I ended up just doing videos, right? And I lived there. Miami is a great place. Have you been to Miami before?
I have. I love Miami.
Great place to visit. Terrible place to live.
Yeah.
And I ended up being homeless in Miami for 3 whole months. And I lost my apartment because of this hurricane. It's such a long story. But now I'm in this paradise, and I'm 3 hours away from Orlando, but I'm the type of guy that if I step forward, I'm not going back, right? So I'm like, I'm not going to go home. I'm not going back. I'm going to figure this out. And I ended up sleeping on a boat. Oh,
Sorry, the Sambusa, the spicy.
Sambusa got me boosting, boy. So I ended up sleeping on a boat, and this boat was across the street from the Fontainebleau Hotel, which is a massive hotel. And I went over there and I was like, hey, are y'all hiring? I need money. I need to get out of this situation. End up doing valet parking at the hotel and then run across the street at the end of the night and sleep on the boat. So I remember doing it for like 3 or 4 months. But one night I'm laying on the boat, small little fucking thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like when it's windy, like you're just like,
yeah. Yeah.
And I'm doing this shit. It's like 12 o'clock at night, and I heard fireworks. And I looked at my phone. That's almost dead, and it was fucking New Year's Day. And I'm like, okay, this is not working out. And if I stay here, I made sure I kept my cell phone on at all times because I needed to pretend that I'm still, you know, like Mr. Miami. And people are still commenting, "Oh, you living, bro?" I'm like, yeah, you know, we are. You know how I be on the gram.
Yeah.
I'm taking pictures on the beach, knowing to myself, I just took a shower at the damn beach.
Yeah.
So anyway, I realized like, okay, I got to get out of the situation. And my brother flew down to visit my mom in Orlando. He lived in Chicago. And I went up, I took the megabus and I popped up there and he's like, man, you got to come visit Chicago one day. And I ain't got shit to do. I'm homeless. Like, shit, I got $100. I can pull up. And I literally flew out. And flying into Chicago, I saw all the big buildings and I'm like, this is where my life is now going to reset. I spent like 3 days there, and this is summertime shy, by the way. Of course I'm going to fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And I went back to Miami. I went to my boat. I went to the boat that I stashed my suitcase on, and it was wintertime, so like no one is using these boats. Like it's winter. And I packed up my one suitcase, but I never sold or pawned my computer or my camera, regardless of how broke I was. I made sure I kept those two things. And I packed up and I left, and I moved to Chicago, South Side, 69th South Shore.
Okay.
And 20, whatever it was. And I figured, you know what? This camera is obviously not working out. This is not a thing. I'm 25, I think. And I always told myself, by the time I hit 30, I have to get my life in order. Like, I'm not going to be that 30-year-old dude bouncing around from fucking job to job and messing up. So I told myself, all right, that's it for film. And I started door-to-door sales in Chicago, January 15th. In the winter, and it hurt a lot. It hurt a lot, but we were selling energy, like, you know how we have XL energy here. Chicago would have like multiple different options,
right?
That gives different rates. So we'll go like, hey, you got XL, we got this person, let's flip you and make stupid commission. And I did really well, and the company was like, hey, we're opening an office in Minnesota, and we would love for you to come and help us start that office off. And I'm like, where the fuck is Minnesota at? I knew the Minnesota.
So you
too.
didn't like.
I had no fucking clue what Minnesota was.
Yeah, like you didn't have people. You didn't know nobody.
No.
You just knew it was in the U.S., but
right.
Wow.
So when I had to Google Minnesota to see where it was, and all I saw was Canada. I'm like, dog, like
I know.
Damn, like I just survived this winter. You want me to go north?
Yeah.
And what am I gonna do in Minnesota? I don't know how to ice fish. I don't know how to. I didn't know it
you
was.
had the typical stereotype of Minnesota.
I'm like, what am I gonna do? Wear flannel, drink beer? Like, what am I gonna do in this place? I'm in Chicago. I'm not fucking moving.
Yeah.
So we came up when we visited, and I was like, all right, y'all got some skyscrapers. You got a train.
Yeah.
You know what? The main thing I loved about Minnesota, the fucking skyways.
Yeah.
For some odd reason, I thought that was the entire city, like the entire of Minneapolis. So I thought we were all gonna be like hermits. So I'm like, all right. Or like hamsters. I'm like, all right, it's cold, and then I came and I'm like, wait, so the skyways are just downtown? They're not in Bloomington? What the fuck is
Yeah, I know. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, we don't ever have to go outside. Yeah. That's what I thought. At least that's what my fucking boss lied to me and made me say, yeah,
just everywhere the skyway.
It's cool. So I came here and I was selling CenturyLink. I've probably knocked on doors in every single city in this metro, in the Twin Cities, from the Champlains to your Vadnais Heights to your South Sides to Bloomington, wherever it was. And I was knocking on doors, flipping CenturyLink internet and DirecTV.
Okay.
Telling folks that, yes, a snowstorm won't hurt your dish.
Right.
For anyone.
Not you lying.
Let me say this. This is a public service announcement. For anyone that I sold DirecTV 2, and I told you that it was Teflon coated and rain, sleek snow slides right off, I was trained to say that. This is not my decision.
Typical American system. But thank you for apologizing to the citizens of Minnesota.
That's on me. That's on me. And it's not fully fiber optic internet either. But
good to know.
all right. So yeah, that's how I got here. And I
okay. So then, how the hell did you get out of that?
Of the door-to-door sales?
Yes.
Oh God. All right. You know what? The door-to-door sales thing was low-key. It was a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Right. But it was the best pyramid scheme I've ever been a part of because I actually won the pyramid. I made it up.
You made it to the top.
The goal of it was you bring in, they teach you management, like business management, and how to learn how to run a business, which they actually fucking did. Okay. And on the flip side, then you have to go out from, like, you're in the office from 10 to 1, and then from 2 to 6 or 8. Yeah. You're in the field. So you have to hire people and train them and have your little people, and you build your pyramid on your own. And I built mine, but I didn't, I was more, I drank the Kool-Aid so hard. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to be a business owner. My dad was a business owner. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. And I got promoted and actually ended up running my business in Iowa.
So you was just a Midwest king.
Like, I was popping around. Crazy. Every time I say Iowa,
I know.
Iowa is what I thought Minnesota was gonna be.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
pretty
I went
much.
to Iowa. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
This is what I was scared of. But I did. I always say I did 8 months in Iowa like it was jail, but it damn sure
yeah.
I did like an 8-month bid.
Trust me, I know about that. My family lived in Iowa for 3.5 years, and my dad would sneak out as much as he can to come back and
I'm
visit
in Minnesota.
here.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
So I lived in Altoona, next to a racetrack / casino. You leave the house and it's just beautiful manure, and it's like, welcome to fucking Iowa. Anyways, went down there and the business was just not working because CenturyLink was trying to sell slower internet for more money. Going against Cox, and I'm like, guys, this is not working out, and they just didn't want to budge, and business started failing, and I'm like, you know what, I think it's time to move back to Minnesota. So came back here, found out I have a son, beautiful. And came here, and I'm like, all right, now it's time to reset. And when the business left Minnesota, I came back and worked for the previous one, and then we were doing like not door to door, business to business, T-Mobile. That didn't work out either. The business failed. And I'm like, I think this is the calling saying I should stop with this shit. And I've always like thought to myself, like, I really missed like videos. I've written so much. I always write stuff. And I'm like, man, if I ever get back into this, I'll do this, and this. But I was so focused on, all right, life is happening. You're getting older. Buckle down and get your white picket fence. And then when the business left, I think it was like 2018. Here I am now with no job, and all I know is this, knocking on doors and the Kool-Aid that is not fucking cool. It's not good for you. It's too much sugar. And I figured, like, since I have the skills of business to business sales, instead of selling T-Mobile, I can just sell myself. And I went to Lake, like 35th and Lake, where all the Mexican folks are. And I went in and I'm like, hi, my name is Adrian. I create my own pitch. Same thing I learned from the business to business. I'm like, let me apply it to my damn self. And I went into these businesses and say, hey, I'm Adrian Wilson. I'm a filmmaker. I would love to shoot a commercial for you. And I hit every single one. Wow. And the first person that hired me was Element Boxing Gym. Shout outs to fucking Dalton. I would love for my life. We're going to shoot again, bro. I promise you. Dalton said, like, hey, bro, like, I'm building this gym. I like you. You're my guy. And that's when it clicked. And I used Element Boxing Gym. Now I'm pitching First Transit, and I'm building my resume. And I just built it from there. And
that's amazing.
Here I am now doing it for a living.
I love it.
Every day.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Your journey is so incredible, and thank you so much for like sharing the raw things that you went through. Because we always I always tell people, like, when we're at a certain place, like, they don't know what it took for us to get here. You know what I mean?
Say that again.
Say that again. They don't know what it took for you to get there. And so I think, that's the beautiful part. of highlighting these type of stories, you know? So yeah, thank you for that. So let's kind of now transition into, well, actually, let's stay on the filmmaking topic. I wanna know about now. Now you made some films. You got into some documentaries. Actually, pause, rewind before you get into that. It's still the same question, but I want us to talk about 2020. I want us to talk about 2020. How was that year for you? How did that affect you? I want to know your thoughts, because I did see that you did film something for your son. So I'd love to hear about that.
Sheesh, that's a long story. All right, I'll make it direct. 2020 was a year that I think we all needed in our own way. Yeah. And I think everybody that went through whatever they did, it molded them into who they are now, regardless of if it's positive or negative or they didn't do shit with their lives. They'll never forget that time. And you know, I hate saying this. I was in the right place at the right time, to be honest with you. I remember when I was in Orlando, Trayvon Martin died, and I did nothing. I stayed home and I watched what's his name, lady's white woman's name, Grace, or she was doing like the interview, and I'm like, man, that sucks. And I stayed home. And I still feel guilty for that, because now I'm older and I have a child. It's like, fuck, dog. Yeah. Like, where were you at, fam? And then, you know, George Floyd happened, and I lived on 34th in Chicago, live up the street. So I told myself, I'm not fucking this one up. I'm going to go there. I'm going to stand. I'm going to be here. Now, as a black person, we all kind of thought the same thing. Black dude died. Talk about it in a week. Some shit burned. World moves on. But in 2020, that wasn't the case. That was impossible, because we could not move on. So obviously that elevated it so much. And I just started filming. I had no clue what I was going to do with it. But I went out first day, and as I said, like, being a parent, like, shit changes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, the way you look at every single thing you do, it directly affects my child. If I stay home today, it couldn't affect them. I ain't made no money. The kid can't get his Paw Patrol. Yeah. Uproar.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean? So, you know, when I was filming it, you know, I felt like I literally had like a job to do out there, and I was out filming 8 months straight. I met so many beautiful people, like Toshira and Ashley Quinones, all the moms, and I saw, like, it made me fall in love with Minneapolis, to be honest with you. Like, I as of that day or during that time, I stopped vouching for Miami. I'm like, nah, I'm not from Miami. I'm from fucking Minneapolis.
I love that.
Because I saw how the community come together, and it unlocked something in me, like, wow, I'm standing here and I'm seeing all of this. What can I do better? And that's why I stuck out, and I just fucking kept filming. I would say this. During that time, I didn't really feel anything, because I've suppressed every single thing. Because even though I wanted to break down so many times, I told myself, you're not allowed to break, bro, because you have to do this, because all of the other cameras around me, it's just me and this little ass fucking camera. And I got HBO, CBS, TNT, History Channel. I'm like, you know, that's solid as fucking light. And how what I'm filming gonna be different from, like, how am I gonna even be seeing these guys? They got this shit plugged in already. They got the logo. And, you know, but one thing I noticed is that, like, every time I come home from a protest or whatever, I look at the news, and all the shit that I filmed today is not on the fucking news. And I'm like, wait. Why did this not end up, like, I saw this happen, but you're just showing the burnings? And it got me completely angry. And I'm like, okay, I am going to be here, and I'm going to catch as much footage as I can. By the way, I've never made a film in my entire life. I've only made, like, some shorts, like music videos type stuff. So I filmed, and I watched this documentary every single night. It's called At the LA 92. It's about the 92 riots in Los Angeles after, like, Rodney King and stuff like that. And the beautiful thing about this film is there was 0 interviews. Like documentaries all have the same exact like cookie cutter.
Right.
Hey, this is an expert speaking about Cleopatra. And then I'm like, you don't know Cleopatra. The fuck are you talking about? Like, Cleo, she was a spicy one. I'm like, shut up. So I looked at that film. I'm like, wow, they told a whole story of how the shit started from VHS film. Where the hell they got it from, I have no clue. And I saw that. I'm like, man, if I ever do a documentary, that's how I would do it. Like while I'm filming, I'm like, wait a minute. Should I make a documentary about this? So the original idea, by the way, I traveled to Chicago, Milwaukee, and Kenosha. And I stopped in Kenosha because after Kyle Rittenhouse found it fit to shoot like 2 people and kill 1, and I have it on my camera, it clicked. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah.
And then I realized that, wait, I could be home with my son right now. I can be safe at the crib. Why am I chased? But, the adrenaline rush that you get from it after a certain time, I got addicted to it. So that helped me suppress like all of the pain that I felt, whatever. But, I filmed my ass off and I decided like, okay, I'm going to make this a documentary, but I'm going to make it about like the women that I met that lost their sons, like Toshira, Ashley and all of them. And I was filming it, but I'm seeing like everybody's filming the same thing. And I'm like, how am I, the same thing they're saying here, how am I going to make mine different? And I love the fact that they're getting their stories out there. But I'm competitive. And in order for my shit to be seen, I got to do something different from these conglomerates of like towering over me. They're all, every single night, they're like, who are you with? I'm like, myself. Oh, we were Associate Press. I'm like, okay. And fuck Associate Press, by the way. When Kenosha happened and Kyle shot those folks, all the media team like were rushing, trying to find bulletproof vests. And crazy enough, in Kenosha, they do not have any Army surplus stores that sells bulletproof vests. So we had to drive to Chicago to get bulletproof vests. Fucking Associate Press went and bought all of them.
Oh, wow.
At the one place that's open on a Sunday. And I'm in there like, yo, I need a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
And I know it's like $300. I'm like, I need this. Oh yeah, AP just came. I'm like,
yeah.
what about me? So I had to buy like some padded shit and then find, anyway. Whew.
Wow. You went through it. Yeah.
It was war, man. It was fucking war.
Yeah.
But 2020 was one of those things where, as the years progress, I'm getting better at it. But the documentary ended up being not what I originally planned because of Bryson. And Bryson is the reason why I made that doc, not because for my son, like it's an actual incident that happened. He was playing Paw Patrol or doing something. And I was looking through some footage because like, I'm like, what am I going to do here? I have never done this before. Should I sell the footage? Like people were trying to buy footage from me. So I'm like, I'm broke. Let me try to sell some stuff. And somehow all I heard behind me was, hey dad, what's that? And at that moment, I'm looking at some footage of this guy from the bridge from Highway 35. He's pouring water in his eyes because he got pepper sprayed. And my son saw that. And he's curious, little 4-year-old. What is that? I'm like, what? What is what? I don't know what he's talking about. He's like, why is that guy pouring water in his eyes? And I'm like, because he got pepper sprayed. And he's like, what's pepper spray? And I'm like, it's pepper with water inside of it. He's like, well, who did that? I'm like, because, like, look. I'm not the type of father that's gonna be, all right, let me fucking come and tell you about this. Fuck the police. And I cannot do that, right? Because I don't want my son at 4 to be scared of the police. And if something was wrong, he's not gonna go, say something.
Yeah.
So I'm panicking because I do not know how to answer this fucking question.
Yeah, it's tough.
And I'm like shaking, and I'm like, well, the police did it. He's like, why? I'm like, you want to watch Paw Patrol? You want to watch Let's go watch Paw Patrol. I'll get you a Z-Bar. I'll get you some ice cream, okay? Okay, Dad. He ran off. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
And a light bulb went off immediately. And I'm like, you know what? Scratch what that fucking idea I had was. I opened my computer. I deleted the file immediately. And I'm like, the next time my son asks me this question, I'm going to have an answer. And that's why I named it A Letter to Bryson. Because I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to have anybody interview in here. I'm not going to have no experts come in. I'm not even gonna have the Floyd family in here. I'm not gonna bother those people like how everybody else is. And one thing I do know is that these motherfuckers are not gonna show what really happened. So I will be the boots on the ground, and I will show the rawness that they will never show. It may never see the light of day, and I can give two fucks.
Yeah.
As long as my son sees it, everything else I can care about. And it wasn't even supposed to be released because it was like, all right, I just made it. So shout outs to SBNN, St. Paul Neighborhood Network. 2021, I went in like a documentary class, and Jua, man, I learned so much during that time. I'm like, okay, I got it. And I think it took me 3 months to make that. I went in my basement. It was like cold as shit. I had my little like space heater in my basement, and I put my hoodie on and I locked in, and no one heard from me in 3 months. And I told myself, if I'm going to make this thing, I have to be completely raw, and I have to pour my heart and soul into it, and I have to be honest with myself and be transparent. And and that was my therapy.
Yeah.
That's where the therapy began, because all the built up anger, I just fucking poured into that thing in a beautifully crafted way where I'm the only one talking in it, because I just but it's literally 90% of it is just footage.
Yeah.
Just bang, bang, bang. This is what happened. So, did it. It was like 20 minutes long, and I loved it. And then I'm like, you know what? People got to see this thing. So shout out to the W Hotel, Fauché. I reached out to them. I'm like, hey, I would like to screen my film to some private people. Can I show it there? They're like, yes. And I made like an Eventbrite and sent out to like 100 people. Like, ain't nobody gonna show up at this shit. 100 motherfucking people showed up.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's too late to bail.
Yeah.
Because this is my this is my shit. And I showed it, and man, the response it had was beautiful.
Yeah.
And so far, everybody has loved it thus far. I've screened it twice. It won Best Documentary Award last year.
Wow.
No, 2022.
Okay.
Twin Cities Film Festival, and the process of it is finished. But I've learned so much from 2020 to now as a filmmaker and storyteller, and how to do structure and all of that. And I'm like, people keep asking, when is it going to be done? I'm like, I don't know. I'm learning too much right now that when I look at the film, I'm like, wow, I could have released this and not do this aspect or whatever. But I think it's gonna be released when the time is right.
Yeah.
Like, I was never going to release it in that 2020 year or 2021, because I wanted to see what everybody else put out. And everybody else did exactly what I thought. The HBO's all
You're
of
right.
them,
Yeah.
it's the exact cookie cutter bullshit. Just, this is how he died. And my film doesn't even show how the knee on the neck, or you don't even hear the word George Floyd in my film until like 25 minutes in. And that's because I strategically did that. This is not a George Floyd film. It's not a protest film. This is a letter to my son trying to explain what the fuck happened here.
Yeah.
Regardless of if it's in Minneapolis or Tampa or wherever it was, this is how the shit goes. And this is just one option that I got to capture.
Wow.
So yeah, that's it.
amazing.
So when he gets older, he's going to ask me that question again, because I'm hoping they're teaching the shit in school.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
But one day he's going to be like, all right, Dad, so what happened? I'll be like,
Here we go. I got something for you.
Hold on to something. I got some popcorn. I got everything you need. I got some juice. However old you are, hold on to some shit.
Yeah.
And I got all the hard drive too. I got some extra footage to show you that. Let me show you the real shit. What really happened. So that's how Letter to Brightsons came. But talking to folks like you is what the therapy of it is. I never went to therapy, because every time I screen my film, it's always like an hour, 2 hour long like talk that we have, and people ask about it. And my beard got gray because of it, because I look at my film now, my beard was fucking jet black.
Yeah.
The minute I start like editing it, this my stress
The
points
salt
are
and
here,
pepper came in.
and then I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And now it's here.
It's okay.
I'm
It
unk
suits
now,
you.
bro.
Yeah, it suits you. It's okay.
So yeah.
No, that's really beautiful. And honestly, I think what makes it very special is because you found a way to share the story through your lenses to your son. Even when it was I have a son too, and he didn't know what was going on either.
How old was he?
He was Oh, was he the same? No, he was 5.
Okay.
He was
so
5.
old enough to know something's popping up.
Yeah, he knew something was popping off for sure. And he also, he went from, because like as a kid, he was like, I want to be a cop when I grow up. But that year, he didn't know what was going on specifically, but he knew he didn't want to be a cop anymore. Yeah. He's like, Mom, I don't want to be a cop anymore, know?
And that's hurtful, ain't
it? It is.
Like,
it's sucks, sad. Man. It really does. It's really sad. But I think, the same thing, I didn't know how to explain to him, what was going on. But people were talking about it.
Right.
He's got his little tablet and stuff like that. Like he sees and hears stuff. But I think it's beautiful because I think it's important. I mean, the kids are the next generation.
Yeah.
So we need, more content like that to share with them.
Yeah.
So
well, I was very thankful that Bryce was only 4 and all he knew was all he knew, know, and I think the only thing he remembers from it, we used to say like, put your hands on your bellies, because remember pandemic, you couldn't touch nothing.
Yeah.
As you die on the spot.
Right. Yeah. We lived a crazy ass time.
I touched the doorknob.
No, 2020 was a crazy ass time. Like looking back at it.
What a time to live. What a time to fucking
Oh
witness.
my goodness. We were just,
like that shit happen. It will never ever happen ever again.
Yeah.
In our life, but that
we were part of history. Like it's gonna be in all of the kids' history books in the future.
Like once upon a time, the world.
And you gotta pass tests down. Like it to graduate, and you gotta know what happened in 2020. No, that was
from the temperatures to the masks to the Trumps to
everything,
the protests to
everything was
the world burning. The fucking.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Every day was
I saw on Instagram, like I think it was like yesterday, I seen like it was like a meme and it said something like 2019 to today, 2024 is like the craziest jump, like craziest 5-year jump that we have ever seen. And it's because of that 2020, I think just
shake some shit up. But we had Tiger King though. At least
we did. we did have Tiger
some good came out of that motherfucker.
Oh my god, we
had Tiger
did.
King in Squid Games, yo.
Carol
Basket.
feeding her husband to animals. Yeah, TikTok pop. Oh, TikTok did pop off.
That's what I hated TikTok when it first came. Like that ain't fine. That ain't gonna pop off.
No, that was the year for the introverts because they started popping their shit.
Yeah,
introverts find a way to use their voice.
What a freaking year! That 2020, just fucking every day you wake up like, wait, what happened last night?
Yeah.
So, but I still look back at it though, and I look at my film sometimes, and I'm like, why did I leave my child? Because I have a lot of intimate moments with Bryson in there too, and I'm like, why did I leave my child at home every day, every chance? Like it's I gotta go, I gotta do this, I gotta fight for you, I gotta do this, and then so like my son is 7 now, and he's old enough to start having these conversations with me.
Yeah.
And now that I'm at the Wolves, so sometimes like I have him every other weekend. So like when I have him, sometimes I'll have to go film. And then he brought it up. He was like, "Dad, like, can you like switch your schedule or something?
Yeah.
Because every time I'm here, you're gone." And I'm like, and he doesn't give a shit where I work. I can work for the White House. I can be a Timberwolf my damn self.
Yeah.
He's like, I just want to spend time with you. I'm like,
yeah, that's all that matters to them,
bro. You're fucking. And then I look back like, man, I really missed on a lot of time.
Yeah.
But on the other side, it's like it's such a.
But you were doing something so compelling, for him as well.
Again, so
yeah.
I hope that when he sees it, and he's gonna love it. Hopefully,
I'm sure he will.
If not, he's a hater.
No, I'm sure he will. Right? Nah, he's a hater.
I said that. Shit, you're a hater if you don't like it.
Oh my god. Okay, so now I want to talk about your non-documentary film and how was that transition? What was different about that? Did you like that better? How was that?
Man, the film Unplugged was not supposed to be that at all. So as I said earlier, like music always inspires me, right? So I think I heard a song and I thought of this idea, like, cause I love Black Mirrors. I love watching like really emotional driven stuff. And after 2020, like everything I told myself from now on, if I'm not going to be in a protest, I'm going to bring my people in front of my camera and show us looking beautiful and just kind of push black. I'm fucking pro-black, as black as it can be, for bringing these people to my projects. So when I thought of Unplugged, I'm like, man, I think I watched like a Jordan Peele like interview and like the Get Outs and those kind of stuff. Like, man, I would love to kind of do something cool like that, but I always scale myself down because I'm scared of doing an actual narrative film and having somebody talk, and because I'm so particular about my work. If it sucks, nobody's gonna see it. We can work 10 months on the thing. I'm like, nah, my hard drive broke. Sorry. So
Yeah.
I pulled a couple hard drive bugs before.
Let me find out.
What happened to that project? Oh man, let me tell you, bro. I can't tell them like, man, your acting was ass.
Yeah.
So I thought of Unplugged, and the idea was not even Unplugged. It was supposed to be something else. Supposed to be a commercial for a like a clothing line, because I know Rami and I know Mike Energy, and when I'm thinking of these things, I think of my friends immediately, and they're not even just my friends. Like, I'm a fan of their work. So I thought of like a commercial that involves a girl on her phone and like these cool effects. So like, but I wanted to get it done immediately, so I didn't reach out to Rami because I'm like, I don't know if she's gonna be ready yet. I'm like, you know what, man, I'm gonna make so I created a clothing line low key.
Okay.
Like, but I never seen it. It's seen Instagram for like 24 hours and the shit never happened. Okay. Because I'm like, all right, I'm going to create my own shirt. It's going to have Bryson Studios. I'm going to have my branded shit. And I'm going to make this video. This video is going to be like a 2-minute video. That's like the coming out of Adrian Wilson. Wow. I was a fashion designer. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible idea.
I love that you try so many things though.
Because I wanted to get the video idea out. Yeah. So it's like, if I got to start a fucking clothing line just to show this part of the art, I'll do it. And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, and then it's building, and from it being 2 minutes and it's like 5 minutes. I'm like, wait a minute. I got to bet. What about art? And I just start writing and writing and writing and writing and writing and thinking of the idea. And thank God for Photoshop AI. Like, you can create storyboards on there. And then I hit my boy up, Raji. I'm like, bro, I think I got a fucking idea here. And it's about cell phone. It's about addiction. It's what's happening now. All of my projects, I always want to make sure like I can touch somebody current. Like, I did a project for this show Sonder last year. It's called I'm Fine. It's just about like depression and like how we go through all these things and we have to put a smile on our face and say I'm fine. And I saw how folks gravitate to that. And the reason why I do these things is because people like it. And people allow, like, when people like my shit and they're like, yo, this is cool. It's like, wow, I thought of that was a fucking crazy ass idea. So let me keep feeding crazy ideas. Let's see what happens. So Unplugged was created because of that small idea, and then it build and build and build. And I pitched it to, not even pitched it, I sent it to my folks that I know at the Twin Cities Film Festival, because now I'm looking for advice. This is a short film, never done one. And I sent them the script, and they reached out, and he was like, hey, I like this. We want to buy it. Do you think that you can get it done in 3 weeks for the film fest?
I remember, like, yeah, you did have only 3 weeks.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I can get it done. Man, I hung up that phone. I called Rise like, hey, bro, hey, we got to get this shit
It's
done.
crunch time.
Rami, I fucking need you. I need you to design it. And I just started making calls to all of my friends. Like, yo, it's the same way how I started off. When I have an idea, hit my friends up, and they'll love me enough that they will go with this crazy ass shit that makes no sense in the beginning, but they trust me to let it build. And that's why I love everybody I work with. Yeah. And I call them, and then we wrote the script. We chat GBT'd half of that shit sometimes. Just like, how the fuck did we do? Because we'd never written a script before. And it all came together. And one day we went to my house, and we're like, all right, we're going to film at my crib. Today is the day of Unplugged. I hit up Carly like a week before. I'm like, hey, I'm about to send you a script. You got to learn this. I'll see you Sunday. She's out of town traveling. And I'm like, I know, but did you see the email? Yeah. Like, I know you're busy, but did you see the email though? Like, cause we got to go. So we had 2 weeks to put that thing together, which is perfectly fine, because I kind of work better under pressure. Right. But it was one of those things where we had the right people on the project that I wasn't scared of how it was going to turn out at all, because I wasn't worried. I'm like, you know what? Raji, he can handle the camera. Tomas can handle the camera. Rami, I don't even have to question. Whatever Rami comes up with, that's what it is. Like, I'm not even and she came up with a beautiful style. My wife, she was the interior designer, because it's our house. So it's like, hey, make the shit look good. And she put a thing in, and Shui and everybody, man. It was really great to see how it came out. But you know, I did it. That was one of my crazy ideas, and I've always wanted to do one. And everything just fell into place perfectly. And I'm like, this is now the time for me to do this. Just the same thing with the letter to Bryson. It's like, it's going to happen. I'm going to be like, all right,
Yeah.
we are ready. And Unplugged happened, and I'm so happy, like, seeing how folks reacted to it, because I'm always nervous when I produce something.
No,
like
y'all
that.
did that shit.
And I'm looking at it.
Nice.
When I screen my films, I'm staring at everybody's face like, damn, they didn't laugh at that joke. Fuck.
Oh.
I knew I should have took that one out. Oh. And, you know, I think Unplugged had 25 drafts. I changed that thing 25 times before I even, is this good?
Yeah, you're
good. Before I even gave it to anybody.
Wow.
Or showed anybody. And now, you know, it's back to the nerves again. Now I think people are asking about it. Folks want to rewatch it, and I'm like, all right, I guess we're gonna have to release this thing. I can't just be the filmmaker with no films, bragging I'm a filmmaker. Where's your films at? I'm working on it. That shit can't happen. So it's. I knew 2024 was gonna be one of those years where I'm gonna keep pushing myself. Now that I have the trust in myself, and Unplugged is gonna be released. Yeah. The goal is the 1st of April. So,
yes,
you know, I can take my time, color grade it, and make sure everything is, there's some cool effects I want to do, but the edit is done. The film is going to stay the same. Everything else is just now adding it to look shiny.
Yeah. So. Well, I can't wait to watch it again. I love rewatching things because I always pick up something new when I watch it more than one time. So I'm really looking forward to see it again. Yeah.
I love that because it's one of those films, every time you watch it, you're going to see something new.
I already, that night when you premiered it, we watched it twice. And we already did pick up some like new cool things. And I'm not going to give it away and spoil it, but when it comes out April 1st, y'all do not miss out.
Now I got to bring it out April 1st.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Now you've announced it.
I done put myself
We're going to be messaging you like April 1st.
Hey, bro, you said April 1st. It's on the pod. Come on now.
Yeah.
You know, like another thing that inspired that is I'm a big Marvel fan.
Oh, yeah.
So like I'm the type of Marvel fan, when I watch the movie, I go on YouTube immediately and I watch the recap.
Oh,
and I watch some nerd talk about, and then this part, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even see that. So in Unplugged, I'm like, how many of those can I add into it? So as people rewatch, you're like, oh shit, I didn't even see that.
There was a couple things that,
it's a lot. It's a lot happening, even down to the TikToks that I'm showing is strategic as well too. And
that was dope.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm happy for this because
I loved it.
If it sucked, I would have left the city.
No, that's why you're here.
I would have been like, I'm moving back.
No, if I didn't like it, I wouldn't have invited you here. So.
I appreciate that.
No, it was amazing. I love it. Okay, now we're going to kind of transgress into like your job and like what you do.
Okay.
So you film a lot of content for our amazing team. I'm a Celtics fan, but I'm so proud of the Timberwolves. It's still my home team, and if they're not playing the Celtics, I'm rooting for them all day, every day.
You saw that Celtics game there.
Okay, well, listen.
Y'all beat us when we came to y'all house. Yeah, it's even.
Celtics haven't lost a home game yet, but you guys did beat us when we were there. I think twice last year too. Same thing. But no, I think it's really cool how fast the Timberwolves are growing, and I'm so proud of all of them. And then we have a kick-ass team. But I love how you bring vision to our team. Like, you do some killer ass visuals of all of them. Towns, our future Michael Jordan, which, do you agree he's our future Michael Jordan?
I think I disagree with everybody. Okay. I think Anthony Edwards is Anthony Edwards. Like, because, LeBron and Jordan is a good comparison, but like I'm not that big into sports. I've never I didn't grow up into it and stuff, but because I did door-to-door sales, I can really read people very well and understand them. And being around Anthony Edwards, like, he is such a hyper focus in his own bubble that like the rest of the world is just working around him basically. So I would not compare him to Michael Jordan. I won't compare him to LeBron. I won't compare to KD. Like, that kid is his own fucking thing.
I agree.
And as he keeps growing in his career, people are gonna stop saying Michael Jordan. They're gonna be like, yo, this guy is all around player.
Anthony Edwards.
Defense, like, he's a beast. And because I get to see the behind the scenes of it, I'm like, holy shit. Where the fuck was I at? What was I doing when I was 22, man? Like, I was this focused. Shit, I should have got in sports. I would have been this hyper focused dude. So he's super humble, And I appreciate the fact that, I get the chance to kind of work with them.
Yeah, I love that. So tell us about like, well, I kind of mentioned, but so tell us about what you do for them and what that's like.
Right. Well, so
and how did you get there?
Well, I run my own business. So like Bryson Studios is still my business that I do commercials around the city. I work with all these different Fortune 500 companies and blah, blah, blah. I do documentaries as well too. And, to not get into too much details, like I've had conversations with the Wolves, like an interview like last January, and decisions were made on, on my end. And, it came back around where, I had the conversation with the right person, and shout out to my guy Q, and it made sense, if that makes sense. So it's like, you know what? This is something that I would love to learn. This is something I would love to be a part of. As a business owner myself, like, just understanding how something like a video production on a higher scale, like that. When would I ever have the opportunity to learn so many different things about how a big video company works? Not on YouTube, I'll tell you that. So,
Wait, I thought you said you loved YouTube University.
YouTube can teach you the technical stuff, but
okay.
I'm an experienced type of guy, right? And and now I'm there, and I'm having a blast, man. It's one of those things where everywhere I go, I always bring myself. I always bring my creativity. I always bring how I do things. I bring my attitude. I always tell people, when I meet somebody, I give you 100% Adrian every single time.
Right.
And then whatever you give me, that's what I'll match. So if you give me 20, like, all right, I guess we're doing 20. I gave you 100. And
Right.
100 of me is a lot. So, I love the fact that I'm working on in a space where I can bring out my creativity freely. And honestly, I love doing more of the off-court stuff more.
Yeah.
So I love doing like the Black History Month stuff. I love doing I think the first thing I did when I got in there, I filmed Kat doing a voting panel. That was super cool because it was at All Square, and that was up the street from my new house. And I'm like, yo, I live here.
Yeah.
Oh shit, Kat.
Yeah. I see
All right,
you.
my guy, I see you. So, it is cool to be in the environment, but like I'm looking at it as like, man, I can bring my creativity. I can highlight my Black folks. I can really bring something new and some different ideas. And we've been miking up folks as well too. And it's just a space where I'm learning a lot, but I'm enjoy being there and just bringing my stuff and them saying like, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I can do some more. So, Black History Month, we're doing something cool, and I can't wait for that to come out. And that's what I'm most proud of. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I do agree. I do love. I love your like on-court footage, but I really enjoy seeing your off-court, like behind the scenes, that more intimate, one-on-one. I think you did you posted one a couple days ago, or two, I think, right? It was.
Man, there's so many that's been out.
Yeah,
already. I've done a lot already.
You have.
But I'm very proud of the Black History Month one that we're doing.
I'm excited for that.
And like I'm counting the days. I'm like, God, when the fuck is it the first yet?
Yeah.
So I'm super excited for those to come out.
Yeah.
Because I like telling stories, and if it's something that I can tell a story, especially to highlight Black folks and be in that space. And the Wolves do an amazing job with community engagements too. Like True and his team is like, I gravitate to them a lot. Every time I'm like, what y'all got going on? Another community stuff. Right. I'm coming.
Yeah.
Let me film that one. Let me film that one. So because again, after 2020, that's my motto. My motto is, how can I put on for my people and bring us into these spaces? Yeah. And just me being there, I'm hoping that somebody sees that, okay, this is something that can happen, because I didn't thought it was going to happen. I didn't even plan on it happening. But I just kept doing the right things. And I stuck to this is not for the Wolves, but I stuck to my guns, and I stuck to my creativity. I've worked with the Twins, and all these different places, but I always bring me every single time.
Right.
Like, there's a project that I did for the Minnesota Twins where they changed like their logo, and they approached us, and first thing I did, call Rami. I'm like, Rami, let's hit a lick. Come on, come through.
Yeah. I love that.
So like, that to me, that's one of my favorite projects, because like, when you think baseball, you don't think Black people, right?
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure not most of the people in baseball that are good, motherfucking Dominican dudes, they're Black. So, and when you think of like a baseball commercial, you don't really see like my people. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take this opportunity and I'm gonna go so black. I don't know if they're gonna like it, right? Because I've never touched baseball ever. So I pitched them the idea, but I didn't tell them like what the whole idea was gonna be. I'm like, yeah, so we're gonna do something. You know, send me the product. We're gonna do like some cool lights, and we're gonna do some cool stuff. And oh, that sounds great, Adrian. Like, all right, cool. All right.
Yeah.
See y'all in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And I hit up Rami, and I'm like, Rami, we need to make black people look beautiful in baseball gear. I'm not even gonna ask you if you can handle it. Let me know what you come up with.
Yeah.
And Rami put together the whole deck. God damn it, man.
Yeah.
I love that fucking girl, dog.
Yeah.
Rami put together the entire deck, and I saw it, and I'm like, let's do this. And I brought in all my folks again, and I'm like, hey, we're gonna go to the studio, and we filmed it. Just beautiful black folks in the nice gear, and like, cause that's the shit that I see. And even my friend was black, and I used his song too. So when I sent it to him, I was like, all right,
here we go.
All right, y'all. So this is what we got. Sent it
Yeah.
over. I'm like, you can't say anything negative about this.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way. You have to release this. This has to go. Like,
Yeah.
and they loved it.
Great.
They loved it, man. And they reached out. They're like, this is really good, and blah, blah, blah. And that's another thing too, you know, like just me using my crazy ideas and saying I'm gonna do this. And then I did one for Meet Minneapolis. This is like 2 months after. I'm like, all right, y'all sure y'all want me to do this? Because I'm taking full creative control. They're like, yeah. I'm like, all right. Bruh, I just hit a lick. Let's like, come through all my black folks and the whole entire, because Meet Minneapolis project was like, they wanted to showcase Minneapolis. Like, hey, what do you think Minneapolis looks like? And I'm like, I think it's the blackest place ever. I think Minneapolis is a place where there's so much black art and creativity that drives this place. I know what the commercials y'all would do, and y'all would shoot in the Guthrie and the Stone Arts, and you know, and I'm like, that's not Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let's do it. And this contract was signed, and I went full black on. I hit up all my black businesses, and I'm like, highlight everybody.
Well, the president, I think, is black, so I'm sure they would be okay with it.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
So, you know, and those are the type of things that I love doing, and I'm happy to be in this space and learning a lot and meeting some cool folks and shaking some right hands and just bringing my creativity and what I got going on over there. And you know, as I'm there longer, you know, we just grow more, and I see what else I can bring, whatever ideas, and I'm doing that, and I'm running my business too, and so you know, I'm handling both.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes a toy drive, but that's a whole different life right there.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's amazing. Okay, well, you know, pause. I was just gonna ask the last question.
Oh yeah, because I was like listening to your story a lot, so I was in like, this has like a 30-minute record time. So it automatically turns off, so I might have like missed maybe a minute.
We got a lot. We got a lot of content.
Yeah. So I was just like,
is it done? Are we?
oh, I
He just
redid it
stopped.
automatically.
Okay.
All right, bet.
Cool. That's
well,
fine.
she said it's last question. Okay, perfect.
Yes, have the last question.
Because
Okay. That's Sambusa, right?
that shit is not making it to the car.
I know.
That's on God, bro.
You shared so much with us tonight. Thank you so much. So this is a question that I ask everybody that comes to our platform. What is one piece of advice that you can share with anyone who, you know, is in a place where they just don't know what to do? They have a passion, and specifically maybe they got a camera. You know, I've met a lot of young people who have that passion. So what piece of advice would you share if someone came to you today and was like, give me some advice?
Well, first thing I would tell anybody that wants to pick up a camera and make it a living, just know that it's going to be the hardest thing that you will ever do, because, you know, starting any business or doing anything off of passion and art is very, very hard. So my advice would be two things. If you have to be delusional.
I love that. We're in
You
our
know what I mean?
we're in our Delulu era.
You have to be delusional. You have to, in order to be a successful creative, you have to be a little bit crazy, because look at all the things that we have, right? This right here, some crazy ass motherfucker said, I want to talk into a thing, and it travels via a cable, and it comes out in another. Think of that. It's ridiculous, right? Somebody did it, but somebody has to think of something new, and that's how you're seen. And that's how you create your art, and you will find exactly what you're good at. Because I think I developed the attitude, the not give a fuck attitude. And especially after 2020, like my not give a fuck was hard. I'm like, you know what, man, to hell with all of these major companies who are lying and talking bullshit, but we support black people, bullshit. And the minute I start looking at them this way, I'm no longer scared of them. I react to them and respond and interact with them like they're just normal human beings. Because guess what? The person behind Target's Instagram is some random ass motherfucker. It's some normal person. Just because it has that logo does not mean that they're bigger than me or better than me in any way. So I developed that attitude, and I went into it like, okay, I'm going to make sure my craft is just the most craziest ideas I have. I'm going to fucking do it. I know people don't like Kanye West. He's the craziest motherfucker ever. But look
right.
what has been done as far as like fashion and his attitude. Like regardless of, I don't want, that just sounds so R. Kelly now. Like don't worry to separate the man from the music.
No, I hear you.
But you know, but like the craziness of R. Kelly, the craziness of Pharrell Williams, the craziness of Beyonce, the craziness of Adele, the craziness of all these people is like why they succeed. And my advice is like, how crazy are you willing to be to use that and all the non-bill pays that you're gonna not do and all of the hardships, you're gonna have to keep that attitude like, nah, this is gonna happen. Like for me personally, I feel like I'm behind of where I am now and where I should be. I feel like I started way too late. So I'm like playing catch up. And I already think I deserve like an Oscar. I ain't even put shit out yet. But I know Aletta the Bryson will win an Oscar because I know how crazy it sounds. But when I did it, it obviously worked. And every time I think of a crazy idea, the shit fucking works. Unplug is a crazy ass idea. It worked out. So that's my advice number one. Advice number two, you have to have a support system. You have to have that 1, 2, 3, probably just one person that would see that crazy shit and be like, yeah, you got it. And that was my wife. That's my girlfriend to wife. It's like having that, because some of the shit I would come up with, I would be like, what the fuck was I thinking? But she's never asked me or said that to me at all. And having that person, it could be your mom. I know like, I in the Caribbean, like we're not really family oriented. And I know like Somalian folks and the Asian folks. And I'm like, man, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I got all y'all cousins, everybody, dog. Like I didn't even have that. My mom, and my parents, like my mom and my aunts, they don't talk. So I didn't talk to my cousins. And it's like, what the fuck? I came to this country and I'm seeing this culture. I'm like, yo, that is so dope. So if you have that family support system and be like, yeah, you got it, you got it, you got it. And just trust and believe. And the more you have that, because if you don't have that, you're not going to do the other side. You have to have both of those things. So because I had those two things, and shout out to my wife, it's like, because she was there, that gave me the opportunity to create and do the crazy festivals and crazy shit that I want to do, because she
supported your Delulu.
She supported the delusion.
Yeah.
And also my son too. Like my son is the other reason why. Like third thing is you have to have a purpose.
Absolutely.
Like what is the purpose of you punishing yourself? Don't do it for the clout. Don't do it for the awards. Like the awards will come if you do it for the right reason. But like, what is your purpose? My purpose is, you know, I think I am the greatest at this shit sometimes. Yeah. And I know that I have my child and this is what I love doing. And I'm so good at it. The fact that I moved from a third world country to America, ended up being homeless, the door-to-door sales, just all this shit, and taught myself everything I know. And now I'm proud to say that like Fortune 500 companies email me. That's some badass shit.
That is some badass shit.
You know what I mean? And I tell myself that. I'm like, nigga, you what the fuck?
You're him.
Sometimes I look back like, yo.
Yeah.
That's especially when sometimes I'm home alone and I smoked one. I'm like, yo, this is some cayenne. You can't catch me off my mountain when I'm in my zone.
Yeah.
And I would look at some of my old work and like, yo, I fucking did that. I did that. And a lot of people do not have the opportunity to say I was homeless and now I have Target in my fucking email. I have Ferrari in my email, and I've created a toy drive that's given thousands of toys. I'm that nigga, man.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just want to give you your flowers
Thank you.
while
Sorry
you're
for
here.
getting that.
No, I love that you talk your shit. I want people to come on here and talk their shit. We, my co-founder of Eden Talk, he's not here today, but he always says it begins every episode with "Don't be humble."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm really glad that you were able to say that. But yes, really want to give you your flowers. I'm extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm happy that we have you in Minnesota and in the Twin Cities. We are really blessed. And you bring, different light and vision here. You showcase Black excellence, which we don't have enough of. And I know you're going to continue to do that. And I'm really excited to see more of the work that you are going to do. And can't wait to see you get your Oscar, because I know that's going to happen.
I'm getting an Emmy this year.
Oh,
I am
yes.
I'm saying this out loud. I am winning an Emmy.
You are.
At the end of the year, regional.
You are
100%.
winning an Emmy this year. 100%.
I'll come here. I'll bring it.
Yeah, bring the
I'll show it
Emmy,
to you.
and we're gonna do a part 2.
Fuck yeah, dude! Like, I told y'all, motherfuckers.
No, I swear.
Because I'm talking a bunch of shit right now, so I gotta come back and be like, hey, look.
Listen. I got a couple things mentally written down. I'm holding you accountable.
I got the April 1st.
You got that. You got the April. You got all of that stuff. So, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it, Adrian, and I always love to see people come back. Like, truly, whether you get that Emmy or not, you're coming back.
Yeah,
So I appreciate you, and thank you guys for watching. I will link your social medias to our page, and we will see you soon.
Perfect. Thank y'all very much, man. This is perfect.
Yay. Go ahead and eat your sambusa.